Hello, welcome to a new video. These clips were filmed on the bank holiday Monday and I just decided to get going on my sewing because the weather was just awful and Crystal wasn't feeling very well, so we had no family plans anyway. I mean, it really was blowing a gale and rainy as well, so a miserable day to be outside. So I thought, I know it's bank holiday, but I'm just gonna get sewing. That's one of the probably the biggest advantages of being self-employed, is that you can be flexible with your time. So yeah, I can just swap this day for a nice ordinary day when we get some nice weather and take myself outside and have a day off. Have to be a little bit careful with the work-life balance thing, because I could, if I'm listening to a good audiobook or some podcast, if I'm binging on a good podcast, then I could just keep going sewing and I'd never take any time for myself. But anyway, yeah, so what I'm making here is separates, because I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you've seen the video a little while back called, I think, Making Fairy Tale Clothing. I did some very basic upcycles for some more affordable, smaller items, I suppose, to take to the New Forest Fairy Festival for my stall there. And I still haven't done photographs, I haven't done a photo shoot with them yet. So I thought, actually I need to create outfits with these for the photos. So I've been making, sort of coordinating tops and bottoms to go with the things that I made back in that video. And actually some of the items I'm revisiting and adding a bit more embellishment to them, giving them a bit more of my own style to them as well. So this skirt to go with this top was just made of the most beautiful silk. Oh my gosh, it was just the most wonderful fabric to work with, it really was. So that's what I'm doing here. I've got that lilac top and I found this fabric that just matches perfectly. It's sort of lilac and antique dusky gold, and very pleased when I came across that bit of fabric. I'm really pleased with this skirt. I mean, to be honest, I could have done anything with it, and the fabric is just so gorgeous. It would have been beautiful no matter what it did. I mean, it's just the most lovely silk. It really is. Yeah, the hitching at the sides took me a lot longer than I expected, but it gives another sort of floofy dimension to the skirt, so I'm pleased I did that. And I just remembered I was going to add some embellishments onto the top, which I've taken off. Where's the top gone? Here it is. So yeah, I'm just going to add some more pearls and things. So I will do that a bit later, actually, because I'd forgotten all about that. But while my dinner is cooking, I thought it would be a good idea to try and tidy up my desk. And in the process, I thought I'd just do a what's on my desk segment of the video, because we all love one of those, don't we? There's a few new bits and pieces here that I've recently purchased, so it might be interesting. So I'll just prop you on the tripod, I think, and then we can have a bit of a tidy up as we go. So let's just go from right to left, I think. So this is new. I'm pleased to show you because these are just beautiful. It's the Flower Fairies 100 postcards, and oh my gosh, this was a bargain off eBay. Every now and then I just type in Flower Fairies and see what comes up. I like collecting. I've collected some of the Hornby Flower Fairy toys. In fact, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's one here actually. So this is one of them. Did you, yeah, please tell me, did you have these as a child? I think in America you had Hornby, I think they were called Star Fairies or something like that, Starlight Fairies. So they were the same dolls but just different costumes, so you can tell because they've got the pixie ears and they've got Hornby written on the back of the head. And this is Fumitory, I think. This one wasn't one of mine as a child. This is one I've bought from eBay since. And I tell you what, we were brought up to look after our stuff, me and my sister. And none of the ones that I've bought from eBay have been as good condition that mine that I still have are still in. Look at the hair, look at the state of that. They made the mistake of making it wet and brushing it, whoever owned this. You could say that perhaps they had more fun with their toys than me and my sister, but anyway, we did look after our stuff. So yeah, this is what I mean, but these are based on the Cicely Mary Barker Flower Fairies, which you must have heard of. And I got this set of 100 postcards. I can't believe it. And what's so good about postcards is you are basically buying a mini print for a fraction of the cost of a print. And so yeah, they are literally postcard sized cards but with all the pictures on. And I do have a book that I had as a child, the Pink Flower Fairy collection, and I've got another book which was the complete Flower Fairy Treasury or something. But I think these are just lovely to have these sizes, and I used to draw these a lot when I was a child, and I still find copying these is one of my favourite drawing pastimes. So I was chuffed to bits to find this as a bug, and it was, I think I paid £10 I think for all of these plus postage, so maybe about 15. So yeah, and they're not, I thought this was quite vintage, but actually it says on the inside 2012. If you're interested, I think you can find some things on eBay. I love browsing eBay. It is a hobby of mine, a pretty dangerous hobby. What else have we got new here? I've already shown you these from my birthday vlog. Yeah, still don't know what I'm going to do in my Anne with an E notebook. Letter from the Inland Revenue, we don't need to see that. That's why it's still open. Council tax bill because I needed to prove my address for some online banking. I don't usually bring post in here. I usually like to keep this clear of horrible stuff, but obviously some has crept in, or I bet someone brought it in and gave it to me thinking they're being helpful. We've got a set of white gel pens that my sister gave for me for my birthday, and I'm hopefully going to be using these tomorrow, and I'll show you how I intend to use these. And I've got a new project planned, an arty project that I'm really quite excited about. And this little collection is from when I went to Hobbycraft a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I've got a whole selection of threads. My thread pot has exploded. I keep a pot of threads because usually threads stick to threads. So when I'm sewing, obviously couldn't find my pot of threads for the skirt I've just made. Yeah, so when I'm sewing and I've got all the, I'm snipping off all the little bits, I just add it to the pot of threads, and usually that clings, and otherwise you just can't get rid of them. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I went to Hobbycraft, so I haven't put this lot away yet. Art palette knives, just a simple basic set, because I've never really used palette knives in art before, and I've used it a little bit for pasting texture paste on mixed media, but I've not really used it for painting, and I want to give it a go, so I bought them. Some watercolour sponges, and this was a bargain. This was a good price. I wish I had the receipt here to let you know. Yeah, you have to sort of look around. They had two sets of sponges, one more expensive than the other. I don't know. Gosh, I'm gonna have to keep trying to change the focus. I don't know if that means these are lesser quality or whether it's a brand thing. So yeah, I have used the kitchen sponge in the past with watercolour, but none of these fancy textured ones, so I'm looking forward to giving those a go. This is from Hobbycraft. Do Crafts is the brand. 15 sheets A4 acrylic pad for £2.99. I thought that was a good price. And I've actually never used proper acrylic paper for acrylics. So again, looking forward to trying that. Tear off palettes. Again, never used these before. I thought I've got this heavy plate that I have had. I'll tell you what, I've had that plate that I usually use as a palette since living, it belonged to Chris's mum's back before we had rain, so 26 years ago, and I've just used the same plate ever since, and I've still got it. But I saw The Unexpected Gypsy. She's an artist who lives quite close to me actually, who's got a channel on YouTube I recommend if you want to check her out. I saw her using these and I thought then I spotted them in the shop and I thought, well, I'll give that a go. That just looks so easy. And these were, oh, there's no price, but they were quite cheap, so I thought, yeah, I might just be a bit lazy and try them. Makeup sponge that Jude gave me. I think the mice in her room have chewed it a bit, so she didn't want it anymore. Again, that's for me to use with painting. Oh dear, this is when you start seeing the rubbish, which is a bit embarrassing. This came in the post the other day. A pack of new paintbrushes. These are just cheapy ones. I think the whole pack was £12 or £13. Gosh, this camera does not want to focus on what I'm showing you today. Sorry about that. And I do have some nice brushes that I've had since I was a child, because very occasionally we would go to an art shop and I would spend my pocket money on a proper paintbrush. So let me just get them. Okay, this is a selection of some of my really old paintbrushes. This one is one I trimmed. I remember sitting in my bedroom and trimming this right down because I could never find a paintbrush that did what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to be quite small and precise. It says made in England, but I can't make out the brand of that one. Again, look, I mean, there's no paint left at all, but I think these ones without the white tips are proper Winsor & Newton ones, so they're pretty good quality. And then I think the ones with the white tips were Reeves, which is sort of a bit more of a studenty budget brand. Anyway, gosh, I'm rambling. My point is, I could also never find a good quality paintbrush from this art shop that had a nice fine tip. So I wanted round. I don't get on very well with flat paintbrushes, so I want round ones, but I want them with a pointy tip, so to have that control of detail. Oh, Helen, hello. Just been joined by the dog. Oh, no, he wouldn't do a poo. The whole of the lower garden is just a rabbit toilet. I've never seen anything like it. It's just covered in rabbit poo. And so he's just distracted, and so sorry about that interruption. So it's a very long-winded explanation as to why I bought these new paintbrushes, because look at those nice pointy tips. So time will tell as to whether they keep them. Anyway, I wanted to buy some pointy tipped paintbrushes. Oh dear, sorry, I'm really rambling. My drone is here from doing my drone shots on the last video that I did, and I needed the memory card out of it. And I never walk away with the memory card, because I know that if I do, it won't go back in and I'll be thinking I'm filming when in actual fact I'm not. So memory card goes out and then it goes straight back in the drone, so I never walk away. Same with the cameras, I never take a memory card out and put it somewhere else. So that needs to go away. I've got the Almanac Seasonal Guide to 2021, and I love this. I've now started getting this every year. It tells you a bit about what's going on nature-wise, tell you what's going on in the night sky, sunrise and sunset times, and then they pick a sort of different theme each year. So this year is a lot about Romany folklore and traditions. So So every month we get a little bit about that. I recommend that book if you're interested in that sort of thing and nature stuff. The candle I've been burning today is Fresh Linen, and the brand is Lily Flame, and that is a local factory to me. I was introduced to this by another mum at my daughter's primary school, and they really fill the room. I recommend Lily Flame if you're looking for scented candles. Pretty good price as far as I'm concerned for scented candles. I've got some notebooks I need to tidy away. This, my friend Jo gave this to me a very, very long time ago. It's one of those things where you get given a book and it's too good to actually use, and I've started it and changed my mind about what to put in it so many times, and it has become my personal sewing guide. So whenever I've made something that I want to remind myself how I made it, this is what I write in and use it for that. So that needs to go away. I thought I'd lost this actually. Glad I found it. More notebooks. This is my, oh well, I'll show you briefly now, but maybe I'll talk about everything that I use for photography another time. So this is what I use to get some nice effects for the behind the scenes pictures when there's no decent light in here. So we've got a sort of film which gives a rainbow effect, and you just put these over the lenses, but this is a system with magnets. So you've got a prismy thing there and another prismy thing there. I'm sure they have more technical terms, and then what you're meant to do is put them on the end of your camera lens, which I can do with my big lens, but in here that's too long, so I just hold them. So that needs to go away. And our printer keeps spitting out configuration reports like 5 times a day. We need to look into the settings of that, figure that out. Some manky tissues, don't need to see that. Post. And that tells me my chicken is cooked, so I did not get my Alexa, stop. Oh, I did not get as far as I wanted with this. Right, I'm off to have my dinner, and then let's finish tidying up. I think I've shown you anything that's interesting here. I don't think I've shown you this. So this is my egg timer that Chris bought me at Christmas, and it's a half-hour sand timer. Looks really cool, and I've been using that to help me focus. I really struggle with keeping my mind occupied on the one thing. I could be 10 minutes into editing and then I have an idea for something, or I'll let my mind wander. I'll look out the window and then I'll start thinking about sewing, and then I'll start thinking about writing, and then I'll have an idea for YouTube or something like that. So this is good for 2 things. One is to keep my focus. If this is sort of running in the corner of my eye, then I know I've got to keep going at the task that I've started. And the other thing it's good for is just helping me time how long I spend on things, because I do record how long it takes to edit every video, how long it takes to make every item of clothing and that sort of thing, so I can price things accordingly. And so at the end of the month I can just look at just where my time is going and where it's worth spending more time on, you know, that where it's being wasted. So there we are, that's that. Yeah, I think that's all that's interesting really on my desk at the moment. I shall get myself fueled by food and then tackle this. I nearly forgot to show you the most important thing in my room at the moment. There's a Lyra in here. She likes laying on notebooks, that's her favourite spot. So weird to think that this time last year we were just outside in summer clothes and enjoying the sunshine. shit you find when you're tidying up. A plastic toy screwdriver thing. Now this is the exact sort of thing I really struggle to throw in the bin, because somewhere there's a child out there with probably a battery operated screwdriver with no screwdriver thingy. I have no idea where that child is, but I have it. I can't put it in the bin, can I? I do struggle with these things. Right, well, I'm done for the evening. I'll give the floor a little bit of a sweep tomorrow, and the desk section that I managed to do is I'll give a wipe down tomorrow. Yeah, not a complete Betty, but a vast improvement. And yeah, it was just a quick tidy up and not a big sort out. I know that my desk is probably due another one, but I just can't be bothered. Hello, I have had the most lovely, relaxing Sunday morning. Chris got up with Merlin so I could sleep for a bit longer, and I just, yeah, had a nice lie in. I looked at TikTok on my phone for a few minutes, had a lazy, slow shower. Yeah, it's just been a really pleasant Sunday morning. I hope you've just had a nice weekend as well. So I wanted to talk about something that I'm excited to tell you about, and also a little bit nervous as well. So 5 months ago I did that video called The Ramblings of a Tired Puppy Owner, and in that video I sort of explained why I might have a bit of a break from YouTube, and that was partly because it just wasn't making financial sense for me. It was taking up too much time and not earning me any money. And I've sort of noticed since then, watching YouTube, that creators overcome that quite often by using Patreon. So I have started a Patreon account. So if you haven't heard of Patreon before, it's a place where people can support their favourite creatives. So there's all kinds of people on there, like artists, writers, musicians, that sort of thing, and obviously content creators, bloggers and YouTubers. And so that's what I have decided to do as well. I'm excited for all the new video ideas I've got for there. So nothing will change here. The vlogs will continue. You'll see a bit of sewing, a bit of art, a bit of our travels in the camper van when we finally do get away, you know, and things like that. Just my daily creative goings on. I think over on Patreon, it's all going to be a bit of work in progress. I want you to tell me what you want to see there as well, things you'd like to see. But at the moment I'm thinking things along the lines of tutorials over there, doing some sewing tutorials, and also maybe I'll get a bit more personal over there, because of course YouTube is open to everybody. I have no idea who's watching, whereas on Patreon I know it's going to be my people, so I think I'll be feeling more comfortable there, opening up about more personal things. I'll do little snippets of my day, photos, and letting you know what I'm doing each day, that sort of thing. So yeah, there are 2 tiers at the moment. The lower tier is mainly that sort of thing, just keeping you updated. You get to see like work in progress as it happens, and also you'll get access to my regular YouTube videos a day early, and that costs £3 a month. And then for £5 a month there'll be 2 exclusive types of content. Mostly there'll be videos, almost always there'll be videos, but I want to leave this open for in the future. Maybe I'll be doing more short stories, or you know, I just want to leave it. I don't want to guarantee it'll be 2 videos in case things change in the future, but that's most likely what it will be. So one will be probably a sewing video, and the other will be maybe a shorter sewing video, or some talking through of my month whilst I do a drawing or something like that, or showing you the products I'm using to make some art. Yeah, this will be an evolution of finding out what it is that you guys want to see. So that's what's going on Patreon. So if you're interested and you'd like to get that extra content, then please go over to patreon.com/Helen Hobden. It's just, hopefully it should be easy to find, but I will put the link below if you'd like to go and check that out and have a look. So yeah, that's my sort of news for this week. And of course there's no obligation at all. If you would like to support me but don't have the budget to join the Patreon thing, then honestly the best ways you can do that, and this goes for everyone that you watch, obviously not just me or blogs even, then the best thing you could do is share our content with your friends and on your social media. You know, just keep sharing links. If you've enjoyed a video, then please put that on your Facebook group, on your page, on your social media pages. That would really help us all out. You know, it's reaching people is quite the difficulty, because the way algorithms work, and you know, if you're popular already then you get rewarded, but if you're not seen by many people then it's sometimes a bit difficult to get seen by more people. It's one of those it's all the algorithms that are going on social media and things like that at the moment. So yeah, and obviously giving a thumbs up shows YouTube that you've enjoyed the content, and then they're more likely to show it to other people. And leaving comments and joining in with each other, chatting in the comments, shows YouTube that people are engaging and are interested in the content as well. So that sort of thing really helps all content creators out, so that would be very much appreciated indeed. Okay. So carrying on with the day, really getting started on my day, which is, it's 1:20 already. So I'm really excited for today actually, because I'm starting a new art journal. I got this one for Christmas. I'm really excited to start it. So it's Brian Froud Deluxe Hardcover Sketchbook, blank sketchbook with pocket, 192 pages, archival, how to say that? Archival paper. I probably went into a bit too much detail about that, didn't I? So this little flap can come off now, and this is the cover. Isn't that pretty? So Brian Froud, if you haven't heard of him, is a fairy artist, and I say fairy as in goblins, all kinds of fey creatures, and he was involved in the making of The Labyrinth, the film, the 1980s film with David Bowie. Do you remember that? It's honestly one of mine and Chris's favourite films. We watch it quite a lot, and that's one of the reasons why Merlin is called Merlin, because the dog in that film is called Merlin. So there you go. I don't believe I said that before. Anyway, I'm a bit of a fan. I've pretty much got all of Brian Froud's books, I think, and this is more of a blank sketchbook. There are some of his, so that's an example of his work. So these are like sketchbook type pictures that he's done in the beginning. So I think we've only got a few pages of that, and then the rest of it is blank. And I decided, I've been watching a couple of YouTube videos and spotting on Pinterest art journaling, and I would like to get into art journaling. So I have done mixed media art in sort of different ways, like I've made scrapbooks, I've made wedding guest books, I've made mixed media journals, that sort of thing, and most of that is more paper crafty based rather than including arty art. This is really difficult to explain. Anyway, I've dabbled in mixed media stuff before, and all that is on my Etsy shop by Helen Hobden, if you fancy having a look at that. Yeah, I thought I'd actually start a proper art journal. I love looking at people's art journal flick through videos on YouTube. That's something I've really got into lately. So I thought I would use this book, and that's what I want to do today. I'm going to have a go at sort of creating something just a little bit different for me. This is going to be a little bit tricky because my crafty stuff is all downstairs in the basement. My arty stuff is all up in, I've got a new chest of drawers in the corner with all my art in. So I'm going to be going up and down those stairs to the cellar, I think, a few times. So if I get into art journaling and I do this more often, I might have to rejig this room around to include, bring up all my crafty stuff up to here as well, if I can fit it in. Don't know, maybe I can swap things around a bit. Anyway, this should be fun. I'm looking forward to doing this, and I will explain what I'm doing once I know a bit more about what I'm doing. Hello, it's been a couple of days. I'm overrunning again. I need to get the hang on my timings. But I thought, I can't begin something. It must be quite frustrating for a viewer to see something begin and not get finished. So I don't know how this weekly vlogging is going to work. Maybe we just have to get used to it together. But anyway, I finished the painting, drawing, collage-y thing. Mixed media art. So here it is. So as you saw from the clips, I sort of began with a collage of papers and then built up with paint, and then I've added some stamping and drawing and all bits and pieces, all different things. I think in the end I've overdone it a little bit. If I was to give myself a little self-critique, it would be that I should have probably stopped a little while ago, and I wouldn't have done the pencil writing on it either. But I am pleased with the white gel pen writing. I think that looks quite pretty on the painting. So there is a bit of a story behind this. I was thinking of our first trip away after lockdown eased and we were not meant to be locked in our homes anymore. So I think it was beginning of April, middle of April, yeah, middle of April, that we actually went out for the first time in months, and we took Merlin to the seaside for the first time as well, and it was just such a nice day. It was such a nice day. I wanted to remember it. So the writing on here I'll put on my blog. I think I haven't blogged in a long time, possibly even a year, I don't know. I might revive that blog, so if you're interested, I'm saying this to make myself do it. I'll type up, it's not really a poem, it's, well, actually there are two pieces. There's one about the butterflies, and then there's one about the place that we went to see, which is called Tyneham Village, which is an abandoned village in Dorset. And that one is more of a bit of prose poetry, I suppose you'd call it, whereas this one is more of a traditional short poem. So if you're interested in seeing that, please pop over to my blog, which is called whenIgrowupblog.com. Yeah, I'll revive that for this sort of thing. And also, this is the sort of thing that if you are thinking about joining Patreon, that's the sort of thing I'll be putting on there. So there'll be a step-by-step process with all the stuff that I used on there. So yeah, it was the most gorgeous day out. It had been really cold here, and we forget that actually up here on the hill we're at least 3 degrees cooler than everywhere else. You can walk, you know, like the amount of times I've left this house all dressed up in layers for Merlin's walk, and then I get down into the village and I'm like stripping them off and carrying them all. It's such a pain. And it had been so cold here. I said to the kids, it's going to be even colder by the sea, it's going to be even windier down there. And it was honestly probably still the best day we've had so far this year. It was so warm, it was lovely. So yeah, we were carrying our coats, Rain was stripping off her tights. So we travelled south to Dorset, and the first place we went to was Tyneham village. We've come to a deserted village in Dorset. I had no idea it was just here, but yeah, this place was deserted. It was evacuated in 1943 for the war, and they were never allowed back. It all belongs to the Ministry of Defence now. And so we thought we'd come out and take Merlin to the beach for the first time and have a look around here while we were in the area. It's so, we love old things. We love old deserted, ruined things especially. So it was really cool. They've got little plaques at each building to say who lived here and old photos and stuff like that, which is, it's just so cool. I love stuff like this.
It looked like before, like look,
with the windows in and the roof on.
I mean, yeah, so that like fence would have been there, and then this was the front door, and then that large like window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one.
That's that one.
It's, gosh, it's quite short as well, isn't it? The ceilings would have been really low.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the upstairs fireplace.
Yeah.
So,
And that's
yeah.
would that be an, yeah, that's an upstairs window.
Yeah. It would be really low.
Yeah.
Well, they were short in Victorian times.
Isn't it weird that one day people are going to be looking back at our photos with our masks on, being like, oh, COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm a flower.
That's what it used to look like. And that's what it looks like now. Oh, it's a shame we're not allowed in that bit. I mean, can you imagine living there with that view through there? Look how blue the sea looks today.
We'd love that.
God, this is lovely. Yeah, come here.
Yeah. And then after mooching around the ruins, which was, yeah, I think I said, we love that sort of thing. We walked down to the beach, which was quite a nice flat walk, definitely something that's easy for families to do. And the beach was mostly pebbles, but we found a little bit of sand. And it was just nice just to sit there and take it in, a different view. You know, we've been stuck here for so long. Particularly the kids. Me and Chris managed to get away in the camper van a couple of times when lockdown eased last August.
Oh, yeah.
It is. But the kids haven't been out of within like a 5 or 10 mile radius of where we live for like over a year. So it was just so nice to be somewhere new and take in the sea. It's just nice sitting by the sea, isn't it? So I thought I would take special days like that and use that as inspiration for art journaling. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun. I realised I never showed you the blue patchwork dress properly. Let me move you back a little bit. So I'll just hold it up for you, try and get the light. Right, there we are, get the light on it. It's a dismal day today, so it's a bit difficult to get the light today, but hopefully you can see it all right. So yeah, there's all the patchwork layers. I still haven't snipped the thread, so I shall do that now. And then that's the other side. A bit more lace on the back. And by the way, I mean, these are going to go up for sale in the shop, but if you want to get in there first, then do let me know. I mean, this is a very flexible size, you know, I would say, you know, approximately a medium. I haven't done the measurements for this one yet, have I? I'm not sure. Well, contact me and let me know if you want to know the exact measurements. Yeah, it's going to cost £82, so send me a message if you want to get in there before it goes out onto the shop floor, as it were. And last night I finished sewing the pearls onto this top, which I think I mentioned at the beginning of this video, so I need to pack up my pearls now. So I am very happy with this completed outfit. I think this looks really super pretty. So I think that's it from me this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe if you haven't done already. It would be lovely to see you again. And thank you for all your comments. I really do appreciate all the comments that I've had recently. It's been really nice to chat a little bit and get to know you, so please do keep doing that. It's really nice. Gosh, the traffic is loud. I hope you couldn't hear me, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.